He stared across the table, confused, a little nervous, and maybe, just maybe, a little hopeful. The soft glow of the restaurant's candles danced in his blue eyes as he checked his watch again. She was 10 minutes late. For Ryan, waiting was new. People usually waited for him. The CEO of a billion-dollar tech company wasn't exactly used to being stood up. But tonight wasn't business, it was personal, and personal was something Ryan Carter had forgotten how to be. The waiter approached politely. "Would you like to order, sir?" Ryan smiled faintly. "Not yet. I'm sure she'll be here any minute." But even as he said it, a voice in his head whispered, "You've been here before," hoping someone would show up and change everything. The truth was, Ryan wasn't looking for love. Not really. He'd agreed to this blind date because his best friend, Ethan, wouldn't stop insisting. "You're turning into a robot," Ethan had said. "One dinner won't kill you." So here he was, at the fanciest restaurant in town, wearing a suit that fit too perfectly, and a heart that didn't. Then, a soft voice behind him said, "Excuse me, are you Ryan?" He turned, and for a second, forgot how to breathe. The woman standing there wasn't the one he expected. She looked nervous. Her dress was simple, elegant but clearly not designer. Her hair was pinned in a messy bun, a few strands falling over her face. Her eyes, wide, warm and unsure, met his, and for a heartbeat, everything around them just slowed. "Yes," Ryan said, standing quickly. "You must be." She smiled awkwardly. "Actually, I'm not." He blinked. "You're not who?" "The girl you were supposed to meet." She bit her lip. "I'm sorry. There's been a mix-up." Ryan frowned. "I'm sorry, what?" She laughed softly, embarrassed. "My friend was supposed to meet someone here. Blind date, same time, same table number. I guess I got here first." Ryan's brows raised. "And you just sat down." She shrugged. "The waiter asked if I was here for Ryan. I said yes, because, well, my date's name was Ryan too." Ryan chuckled despite himself. "So you're saying 2 blind dates, 1 restaurant, and 1 major coincidence?" "Pretty much." He smiled. "That's a first." "Yeah," she said. "Sorry for the confusion. I'll just..." But before she could leave, Ryan surprised himself. "Actually, why don't you stay?" She blinked. "What? I mean, we're both already here. Might as well not let a good table go to waste." Her eyes softened. "You sure?" "Positive. Besides," he said, "I could use some company tonight. No business talk, no expectations. Just 2 strangers having dinner." She hesitated for a moment, then smiled. "All right." And that's how it began. Her name was Emma Lane, a freelance illustrator who worked from home, lived in a small apartment across town, and clearly didn't know, or care, that Ryan Carter was one of the richest men in the city. At first, their talk was awkward. Weather, food, typical small talk. But soon, it turned into laughter, shared stories, and an ease Ryan hadn't felt in years. She was funny, real, genuine in a way most people in Ryan's world weren't. When the waiter brought dessert, Emma looked at the price and nearly choked. "You're seriously paying this much for a slice of cake?" Ryan laughed. "It's called experience." "It's called robbery," she teased. He hadn't laughed like that in years. As they talked, Ryan noticed little things. How she pushed her hair back when nervous, how her eyes sparkled when she talked about her art, how she never looked at her phone once. When the evening ended, she stood up, smiling. "Thanks for the accidental date, I guess." "Thank you," Ryan said sincerely. "It's been nice, really nice." She waved and left, and Ryan found himself wishing she hadn't. Over the next few days, Ryan couldn't stop thinking about her. Not the model his assistant had set him up with, but her, the girl who'd walked into his evening by mistake. So, he did something impulsive. He found her, not in a creepy way. She'd mentioned she worked at a cafe sometimes to sketch people. So he showed up. When she saw him, she almost dropped her sketchbook. "Ryan, hey," he smiled sheepishly. "Mind if I sit?" "You again," she said laughing. "You really liked that overpriced cake?" "Huh. Maybe," he said. "Or maybe I just liked the company." Her cheeks flushed slightly, and from that day on, they began meeting more often. Coffee breaks turned into long walks turned into late-night talks. Ryan never mentioned who he really was. To her, he was just Ryan, a guy who liked engines, music, and her drawings. But slowly, Emma began to notice things: the watch on his wrist, the expensive car he sometimes arrived in, The way people at restaurants seemed to recognize him. One night, she finally asked, "Who are you really, Ryan?" He hesitated. "Just someone who's tired of being what everyone expects." She smiled softly. "Then be who you want to be." Weeks passed. They grew closer. Sorry, wrong story. Emma became a part of Ryan's quiet world. But every secret has a timer. One morning, Emma woke up to see her phone buzzing non-stop. Headlines everywhere. Tech CEO Ryan Carter's mystery girlfriend revealed. Her heart dropped. Pictures of them together outside the cafe. Her face, everywhere. When Ryan came to see her, she was trembling. "You lied to me?" "I didn't mean to," he said softly. "I just wanted you to know me first. Not the name, not the company. But you should have trusted me," she whispered. "You think I care about money?" Ryan sighed. "No, but people always do." "I'm not people," she said quietly. He looked at her, guilt in his eyes. "I know. That's why I didn't want to lose you." Tears filled her eyes. "Then you shouldn't have lied." And just like that, she walked away. 2 days turned into weeks. Ryan buried himself in work again. But every success felt hollow. Every award, every meeting, meaningless without her. He tried calling, messaging, but Emma never replied. Then, one night as he was driving home, rain began to fall. He saw a familiar figure standing under a broken bus stop sign, soaked, holding a torn sketchbook. It was her. He stopped the car and got out. "Emma!" She turned, surprised. "What are you doing out here?" he asked. She laughed weakly. "Just waiting for a bus that doesn't seem to come." He handed her his coat. "Get in, I'll drive you." She hesitated. "Ryan, please." She sighed, nodded, and got in. As they drove, silence filled the car, heavy, painful. Then Emma finally spoke. "You know what hurt the most? It's not that you're rich, or famous. It's that you thought I couldn't handle the truth." He looked at her. "You're right, I was scared." "Of what?" "Of finding something real, and losing it again." Emma turned to him. Then stopped running from it. When he dropped her home, he saw the sketches scattered in her lap, drawings of him, smiling. "Emma," he whispered. She met his gaze. "You think I stopped caring?" The air between them was thick with unspoken words. Then she smiled faintly. "You still owe me that dessert, by the way." Ryan laughed, the sound trembling with relief. "Same restaurant." She nodded. "Same table." A week later, they met again. The same table, the same candlelight. Ryan reached across the table, took her hand, and said, "You know what's funny? That first night, you said you weren't the girl I was supposed to meet." Emma smiled, tears glimmering in her eyes. "And you said you were just a guy looking for company." He squeezed her hand gently. "Turns out, you were exactly the girl I was meant to find." She laughed through her tears. "And you're the only man I'd forgive for being a terrible liar." The waiter arrived with dessert. The same expensive cake. Ryan smirked. "Still think it's robbery?" Emma grinned. "Maybe. But tonight, it's worth every penny." The music swelled, their laughter blending with the hum of the restaurant. Somewhere in the corner, an old man smiled at them, whispering to his wife, "Look at them. Love finds its way, even when it takes the wrong seat first." And as Ryan and Emma shared that last bite of cake, the rain began to fall outside, just like it had the night they first met. But this time, it didn't feel like sadness, it felt like fate. Sometimes, life brings the wrong person to your table, just to show you what right really feels like.